Hey, Chef Ro here. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of the simplest things to make, and it's even straight in the name. It's called simple syrup. Now, I see a lot of people buy bottles of this at the grocery store, and I don't think you realize how easy it is to make at home and that you already have the ingredients at home. Simple syrup is 2 ingredients: sugar, water. That's it, sugar and water. So, I'm going to show you how to make it. It's not hard. We're going to have to go back to elementary school science a little bit, but super simple to make. Use it for a lot of things. Now, I happen to be making an infused simple syrup with mint. Number one, I love mint syrup in my coffee. I use simple syrups in my coffee because they dissolve better, right? And they're easier to pour, so I can put them into a bottle and just pour it straight into my coffee. Instead of a creamer, I just pour the simple syrup in there. Now, my hydroponic garden, the mint, if anybody's ever grown mint, you know how out of control it gets. So that's part of the reason I like the mint in my simple syrup for this. But that also works great in cocktails. And I just like mint in my coffee, right? And I put a little cocoa powder in here, and then I've got a mint chocolate or a cocoa peppermint mocha thing going on, right? So, simple syrup in its most traditional form is equal parts sugar and water. Now, sometimes in certain things, in candy making or whatever, or if you're candying fruit, you'll do like 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. But most basic form, if I have 1 cup of sugar, I'm going to put 1 cup of water in there. And then we're going to turn on the heat. Now remember, I said we got to go back to elementary school science. So I need to agitate it, right? Because heat plus agitation moves apart the water molecules, makes room for the sugar molecules, and basically in the terms that we all know and love and use, we're dissolving the sugar in the water, okay? And all you have to do, it doesn't even have to necessarily come to a boil. You just have to stir it until the sugar dissolves. Now, if you're wanting to infuse it, some people wait until the simple syrup itself is made and then add the mint, or I use cinnamon sticks frequently because I like a little cinnamon in my coffee in the mornings, or I've used all kinds of interesting spices or flavors. I've done basil simple syrup for cocktails. Whatever you're using, a lot of people will heat it up first and then add. I just throw it all in the pot and start going. Now, if you're trying to infuse, I will actually usually bring this just to a boil because you can see it's clear. So if I was not flavor infusing, my simple syrup is already done. It's that simple. Okay, because I'm infusing, I'm going to just bring this up to like a simmer because the heat will help the mint leaves really infuse their flavor into that liquid. Herbs are water soluble, so all they need is water to infuse the liquid with their flavor, but it does help to add some heat. Okay, so once that comes up to a simmer, if I'm infusing, if I'm not infusing, this is done, turn it off, let it cool. Simple syrup. If I am infusing, I bring it up to a simmer. As soon as it comes to a simmer, I turn it off. I let the thing that I'm steeping in there sit for at least a half an hour to an hour, or just as it cools, right? Then I strain it out and I have a flavored simple syrup. You can even see that it's kind of starting to turn a little bit green. It will sit and turn green more and more as you go. Now, if you really want to get the flavor in there, you can try and blend it all together and then strain out the bits, but that's going to take a really super fine sieve to make sure you don't get mint bits in your coffee, because nobody wants to chew their coffee or their cocktails for that matter. Hopefully I've been able to show you just how simple syrup is to make. So now you can quit spending $5 on a bottle this big of ingredients you already have at home, and it'll only take you 5 or 10 minutes to make. Now, go make yourself some simple syrup and use it in all kinds of ways.